Peace. This is a meat and potato sorcery production starring myself, the Water Alchemist, and today's topic for the occult family is the darkness element. Hello, family. Thank you for taking the time to view this video, and you can share if you like. And for those that came out to my live last night, greatly appreciate it. But let's get into it. Do you feel it, empaths? Do you feel the last few years how cold and how vacant and how soulless people are moving on the earth plane? I know you have, because Mentor has been feeling it for a while. Everything is now is building to a metaphysical crescendo, unfortunately. So the unfortunate reality is that with social media, which can be a plus and a minus, and it's becoming more and more of a minus, and people are becoming desensitized, unfortunately, what is happening is that more crimes are being committed, and the people doing it don't seem to care. And I'm going to tell people this as a caveat. I don't want this to be some cautionary fable. So please listen up. Now, Shanquita Robinson was unfortunately beaten by her so-called friends. And one of her so-called male friends knew that, and he interacted with her family while he's filming her getting really just beat beyond capacity because she wasn't a fighter. So he says, cackling like Kamala Harris, "Oh, Quita, you not gonna fight back?" By the time they got to her and they did the autopsy, they were saying that it looked like she had been stomped and her spine had been severed. Now, imagine how much punishment that you have to met out to an individual. And all of them got their story together. Oh, she was drunk and she fell and she hit the commode, the toilet. Okay, good story. And unfortunately, this happened in October of 2022. Do you know those jackals? I'm not even going to call them humans because that would be disrespectful to humans. And immortals definitely is going to see them on the lower spectrum. They haven't been charged, and this happened October 2022. So unfortunately, and here's the occult thing, is that now she's a disembodied spirit. So she can't really move on. And then her mother is still graciously and vigorously fighting for justice for her daughter, as she should. And the FBI, and she got a warning from a lawyer, said, don't let the FBI get a hold of that evidence because they're going to tamper with it. What happened? They tampered with it. So this is still dragging out. So she's a disembodied spirit, and disembodied spirits, once they're still tied to the earth plane because they have unfinished business, they really know that they're a ghost, but the whole thing is they're so tied here. So they're going to try and do things to really manipulate things on the earth so they can move on. We just seen not too long ago Amaya Cunningham in Atlanta, how she was ran over by one of her friends, so-called friends. And then the most horrible case is the young lady that got jumped at her own baby shower, and she ended up living but lost her child. Or as they say, that child is now gone and deceased because of those cowards who are emotionally vacant. And that's the nice way I'm going to put it. That child is, as they say in Yoruba, like an abiku, a child that is born but will make its transition prematurely. So what's going on? This is going to make this very hard for empaths because people don't even have to talk to you. People aren't even going to have to look in your direction. If you go out to the bodega, the botanica, their pain will hit you in your stomach. You'll get spiritually stomach punched. One thing about as your clairs start opening up more and more with magic, that's the blessing. Here's the curse side. Some of you are going to be able to read other people's thoughts and how they feel like they just want to be with that person that they lost, and they want to end their mortal existence. Or people just drinking themselves to death because they're never going to be able to see their spouse or their child. The worst thing in the world is when a parent outlives their child. That's one of the worst things. And Lucifer, when he taught me about stoicism is needed more now than ever. But unfortunately, people who don't have souls, they're not even going to join the club. So when I did my live, I recommended one of these books, and I'm going to recommend it again. It's Overcoming the Archon Through Alchemy by John Creter. And this is the book right here. Because the archons are feeding our pain. Now, here's the thing about the archons. Don't worry about them because they only have power that you give them. Remember, they're the boogeyman, but when you're no longer afraid of the dark, what ends up happening? The boogeyman doesn't really have any power. What the best way to conquer your fear is to face your fear, then you make your fear your slave. This is the other book, Marcus Aurelius Meditations. This will help as a building block and foundation for Stoicism. And someone put this question to me one before and said, well, of all the gods, they see all this, why don't they do anything? Because the whole thing, that's your job. They will help you on certain things, but they got more things to do than handle the problems of an infantile race that not only has lost its way and is desensitized, but the whole thing are they know that a lot of you, and they're seeing too many examples of this on the other plane, they see that you're weak and you're impotent. So it's not King Paymon's job to help with that. It's not Belial's job to just come down, even though Belial is an anarchist. But be careful with Belial, because Belial, like, you don't want me to get involved, because if I get involved, I'm gonna turn your life topsy-turvy, and you're going to become a revolutionary. And everybody ain't built to be no revolutionary, whether it be in the physical realm or the spiritual realm. And Abraxas definitely got better things to do. And Cthulhu, from the Necronomicon mythos, Cthulhu is sleep. Now, why is he sleep? He's sleep because if Cthulhu ever awoke, Cthulhu could destroy this universe and other multiverses around. So they don't look at good and evil. That's something that's subjective, and they bypassed that ages ago. And some of them can't even relate to that. That's your job, to do what you can. And some good movies that I want to recommend that you should watch. If a spirit reach out to you and you make sure it's that person, you should see Ghost 1990 with Demi Moore and Patrick Swayze. And the other one is The Frighteners 1996 with Michael J. Fox, best known for Family Ties and Spin City. So it's things that you can do to help them cross over, because some spirits can be stuck in the in-between realm for decades. So it's darkness rising, yes, and empaths and sorcerers will feel it. But what they have to do is they have to come up with a strategy to, at least if they can't counteract everything, they can counteract certain things, especially in their temple and with spirits that reach out to them. And you do the best that you can to help them. So with that, that is your meat and potato sorcery for the day. I am the Water Alchemist. Be water, my friends. Peace.